Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a proxy statement, which might sound boring, but trust me, there are some juicy details hidden inside, especially when it comes to executive pay, or what some might call the real reason people show up to work. We will break down the key proposals shareholders will be voting on, hidden board dealings, and dig into executive compensation. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below with like-minded people looking at these reports. Now let's get started. Proxy statements are basically a company's way of asking its shareholders for permission. They detail important decisions needing a vote, like electing directors or approving executive pay. Think of it as corporate democracy in action, and sometimes corporate drama too. First up, let's see what this meeting is all about. The shareholders of MediaCo Holding Inc. are invited to a virtual annual meeting on August 8, 2025. One of the main voting items is the election of 3 directors to the board. Now, boards are like the strategic command centers of companies, and these elections decide who gets a seat at the table for the next 3 years. Before we get into that detail, it's important to know who owns what. This filing gives a snapshot of who the major players are. As of June 18, 2025, there were approximately 48 million shares outstanding, and our largest single shareholder, SG Broadcasting, controls approximately 89.5% of the combined voting power. Colbert Cannon is one of the nominees from HPS, an investment firm. He's got an extensive background in financial analysis and serves on various media company boards. Robert L. Greene has been the president and chief executive officer of the National Association of Investment Companies. Deborah A. McDermott currently serves CEO of Standard Media Group with 25 years of broadcast leadership. Let's look at directors who have terms expiring in 2026. Jacqueline Hernandez served as MediaCo's interim chief executive officer. She has a history of leading Hispanic media companies, also serves on the board of Victoria's Secret. Let's look at the board diversity. The company included a table outlining diversity statistics regarding the board. The filing outlines 3 females and 5 male directors. Furthermore, demographics identify an African American or Black representative, an Asian representative, and Hispanic or Latinx representative. Let's quickly look at how much the board makes. The company outlines the fees that they paid in cash. Andrew Glaze made $110,000. Robert Greene made $110,000. Robert Greene made $110,000. Robert Greene made $11,000. Deborah A. McDermott made more at $225,632. This may give an idea of relative standing and responsibilities for members of the board of directors. Another significant matter for shareholders to vote on is the approval of the 2025 equity compensation plan. Companies use these plans to attract and retain employees, and it includes things like stock options and bonuses. These give employees a piece of the company pie, hopefully aligning their interests with the shareholders. The duration of an option generally is no more than 10 years from the date that it's granted. This is designed to motivate employees because the value rises when the stock rises. The company puts in a non-employee director limit. The maximum for non-employee directors is $1 million for the year of appointment and $300,000 for any subsequent year. Importantly to note, the plan has a prohibition on repricing the options, meaning the administration can't retroactively change prices to make old options more attractive again because investors may not like that. The company has to link to certain reports, such as their annual report. You can find information in the investors section of their website. The administrator may grant other awards based on Class A shares. The administrator may grant awards of fully vested Class A shares. These may often be subject to service performance criteria. There are also some forfeiture events that investors and employees should be aware of. If things are acquired fraudulently, payments and awards may be subjected to getting taken away. Some clawback policies that are maintained by the company from time to time as necessary to comply with applicable law. Also to consider are how each award is taxed in the US federal income tax. For example, with non-qualified stock options at the time of exercise, the holder of the option will realize taxable compensation income. Code Section 16(2)(NES limits the tax deduction that a company can take with respect to employees considered covered employees. Those who are in this group will be limited with respect to the $1 million annual basis. Here is the main part that most people are invested. The company showcases the new awards and number of shares. It goes over their 4 key people. Kent, it's very interesting the way these numbers stack up. Each of the top 4 people are allotted in around $160,000. There's also an advisory vote on whether to approve executive compensation. This is a non-binding poll, so the company can ignore it, but it gives shareholders a chance to voice their opinions on the pay packages. This is a really important part. The filing details how much the company paid in audit fees, and in 2023 the company spent near $400,000 for audit fees. In 2024 that almost doubled to approximately around $700,000. Audit-related fees is another good metric to watch for. In 2023, there was around $120,000. In 2024, it almost jumped to $950,000. A key relationship for MediaCo is with Emmys. MediaCo was actually formed by Emmys Communications Corporation. In particular, there are certain shared services agreements where Emmys continues to use MediaCo's facilities. It's useful to mention, but at the closing of the Emmys transactions, MediaCo issued to SG, broadcasting roughly 5 million Class B shares. This represented around 76% equity ownership interest. So what's the story here? This document is all about getting shareholder sign-off on key governance matters, including their long-standing and new proposed board members' stock incentives and confirming the external auditors. The financials give clues about how the company is performing, at least based on what they paid their executives, but most of their operations are opaque to the filings. For MediaCo to create stronger shareholder buy-in, they may need to perform more quarterly numbers reporting. Overall, there appear to be no material risks that they are disclosing. Alright, that's our breakdown of MediaCo Holding Inc.'s proxy statement. What's your take on these numbers, the strategies and personnel moves? Are they setting themselves up for long-term success? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Also, don't forget to check the Discord in the description for more conversations. Thanks for watching. See you next time.